Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back. We are back. We are back. Um, Tonight we have my guy. I've been watching for a while. Been watching the work he's been putting in. He's been very consistent. He got his own lineup of fragrances. His content doesn't sound or look like anybody else's. He got his own style. All right. My guy Curtis knows, man. Curtis knows, man. He's done live streams before with Charm City. Tonight he's got one with me. We supposed to have Ben got a live stream, man. What's up, Joe? First person in here tonight. What's up, Joe? What's up, Joe? We got Terrence Taylor in here tonight. Um and Yeah, man. So we're gonna go ahead. You said projection and longevity for queening. That's Jaden. I would say I'm not too sure. I haven't had a full word with that. What's up, King Beezy, man? I ain't seen you in a while, bro. You doing good? Good to hear from y'all, man. I love to hear from some of these people who were regulars at one point in time. What's up, my guy Jonathan? What's up, Jonathan? What's up, King Beezy, man? He said his center today is Invictus Platinum. Those are very crowd pleasing fragrances, man. The Invictus Aqua, Invictus Platinum, crowd pleasing fragrances. What's up, D's Frags? D's Frags. What up, Tazo? Center today is Toronto 22. That's a good fragrance. I actually have that one. Yeah, I got 2022. Listen, Terrence Taylor said, "Am I a mod?" I actually stripped all mods of the moderator sticks for now, man. I kind of want to do the channel in a new direction where I want to just kind of like have moderators at a minimum. So I kind of just took everybody's mod stick and I'm gonna give them out again, because I had a lot of people as moderators that really wasn't coming to the channel like consistent enough, or it really wasn't, being moderators like moderators supposed to be. So I didn't want nobody to feel singled out. So I just took everybody's wrench, everybody's moderator stick, and going forward, I'll start giving them out as I feel like certain people deserve a moderator stick, man. So that's just how I'm doing that. King B said everything as well. Appreciate it. Let me get my guy Curtis Nose up here. Curtis Nose, what's going on?
Yo, Tazo, what's going
Let me
on,
turn
man?
you up, man. Let me turn you up. All right.
How are you? How are you, Tazo?
I'm doing good, man. Good to have you on screen with me, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man. I've been looking forward to this whole week. So yeah, since we decided to kind of link up, so I appreciate it, man.
Okay, what time is it over there in you in Japan, right?
Yeah. It's about 10:30 a.m. on Sunday.
Wow, so y'all are a day ahead of us.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Wow, that's dope, man. So let me
yeah,
ask you this, man, because I'm very curious about your whole background, right?
yeah. Sure.
We're gonna talk fragrances, man, but I actually want to know a little bit more than just about fragrances with you, right?
Yeah, for
This
sure.
whole Japan experience, it really raised my eyebrow. Like, what made you go to Japan, or what
Yeah,
was the reason behind you going to Japan?
yeah. So I think like I when I was in my 20s, I was in the military, and so I did a couple deployments to Japan, and
Okay.
then I think from that point, there's a few things I really realized about the culture, in terms of just like, they take so much pride in everything that they do, and like just the passion behind their work ethic, whether it's whether you know you're working at McDonald's and you're putting fries in a bag, everything is done to perfection, and whether it was just that it was very inspiring for me. And so I knew kind of after I left Japan, I was like, man, one day I've got to get back there. And then, I end up getting married in the States. And
Okay.
my wife is Japanese.
Okay.
So I met her in the States, and we got married, and then we decided to move to Japan in 2012. And then the plan wasn't to stay here for very long. It was just to kind of stay here for maybe like 2 years or so, but it's turned into 13 years, man. So this is kind of home for me now.
All right, my guy Rich Money, he's in here tonight. He said he used to live in Okinawa. Okinawa.
Okinawa, yeah, that's where I was as well.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to Clip. What is it? Climatic. Hit us
Matic.
with a 49.99 super chat. Thank you for the donation to the channel. The Cologne Hero says the Japanese take pride in our work and it shows.
Indeed, it does, man. Inspiring.
Let me ask you: are you familiar with the brand Born to Stand Out?
I am. That's a Korean brand
Oh,
from
okay, it's cool.
Korea.
Okay, let me go grab it. Um, so are you familiar with any other the Japanese fragrance houses? Because I would love to
Yeah.
get my nose on something like that.
Yeah, man. Like there was actually uploaded a video like last week about some Japanese fragrance brands, and there's one called Desir. Um, it's kind of it's kind of an expensive brand, but man, it is just very natural smelling perfumes, and all of their perfumes are kind of themed and inspired by, I guess, experiences that you might have in Japan. So, like for example, like the one of the fragrances I reviewed was kind of like the theme of that fragrance was if you go to a Japanese temple in the springtime, and usually the Japanese temples are surrounded by like cherry blossoms. So the unique smells that you get when you enter the temple, as well as kind of being outside. Now, Tazo, let me say, man, it's a very artistic type of smell. So for some, it may not be like the most wearable. So I mean, it's kind of more like an artistic take. But for me, it's wearable. I kind of, I guess my nose is a bit. I can take that type of scent, but like I don't know, it may not be like the most kind of pleasing for some people. But yeah, man, that house, and there's another one called you may have heard of it, Tazo, called J Scent. You know J Scent?
I haven't heard of that house.
You haven't heard of that house?
Uh,
And another one. Go
is
ahead.
it a fragrance I might know about from that house?
Um, do you ever shop at like Lucky Scent?
Rarely, very rarely.
Rarely. They have it on there because I don't think you can get like J Scent on like discounters or anything like that. But I don't know if there's anything necessarily that they have that's kind of hit kind of like had been like a big success or anything like that. It's kind of pretty low key under
Okay,
the
Rich
radar.
Money familiar right here. Rich Money,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
he
cool.
got samples from Jay Scent. Okay, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna make it my business this year to seek out some Japanese brands because I want to see what they got to offer. What do you notice versus like okay, what Americans are wearing a lot versus
Yeah.
what some of the Japanese people are wearing? Like, do they wear mass appealing fragrances like party going, get outgoing, clubbing scent, fruity? Like, is it the same style of fragrances or are they different?
Yeah, man. I would say like in general, fragrance isn't such a big thing here in Japan, honestly.
Wow. Oh wow.
And it's because of like the Japanese don't really it's based off their DNA. They don't really have a body odor. So it's like they really don't even use deodorant. And so it's kind of like, when they're using fragrance, it they believe in natural smells. So don't get me wrong, people do use fragrance, but they like more light type of airy fragrances because it just kind of they like the natural appeal of that. So you won't necessarily see people or smell people wearing fragrances like Oud Matakuja from Mason Crivelli or like,
Yeah.
those types of beast mode scents. And I think any type of like Japanese brands that you come across, they're very moderate, like in their sillage and their performance. And that's just because beast mode fragrances don't necessarily have a place in Japanese culture. But with that said, you can buy those types of fragrances here. It's just rare that you smell people wearing them.
Okay, okay. All right, man. Listen, man, that's you have a very, very different story when it comes to like being a fragrance reviewer, man, because not many because I know that you are in Japan,
Yeah.
but a lot of your reviewers I feel like come from the States. Am I wrong?
Yeah, man, I would say there's quite a few people. I think the majority of fragrance reviewers that I watch, the most of them are from the States. I think there's a few from the UK that I watch, and I watch a few Japanese fragrance reviewers as well. But yeah, I would say the majority that I watch, I think, are from the States.
Okay.
How about yourself? Do you mainly just stick to people in the States, or do you watch like people in the UK as well?
I watch. I kind of watch everybody. Like
Yeah.
I'll randomly watch a random YouTuber that's doing fragrance reviews just because of whatever fragrance in the thumbnail or whatever they're reviewing. I don't have a pick. I mean, if you're talking about a fragrance I'm interested in,
Yeah.
feel like you might have a good point of view of it, then I'll watch the video. I don't really, man. If I can't understand the language, of course, I haven't watched the Spanish ones or if they're speaking Japanese, but
Mm.
yeah, I kind of give everybody a fair shake, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, dude, there's a lot of one thing that I've realized too. It's like, especially, I don't know, probably about a year ago, there's so many like great fragrance reviewers out there, very underrated that so many people don't know about. And it's like, man, I've learned so much from these guys. And it's like, man, I wish they could get a bit more shine than, you know, people just don't,
I
I
mean,
think I think people are drawn to, obviously we all like what we like, but I think, our
I, w-
first
I,
impression is big reviewers.
I will say this about your channel, right? You are what we would deem a smaller fragrance reviewer, right? Fragrance
Yeah, yeah,
channel,
yeah, for sure.
but you don't have like your lineup of fragrances when you do like recommendation lists. You don't have typical fragrances in your lineups,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know where you go and shop for fragrances or who influenced you, if anybody, or what discovery sets you're picking up, man. But like that's not easy to be that different. Where man, you can look at five of Curtis knows videos and he might have only a few that people heard of. So like, what's the process for you when it comes to buying fragrances and testing them out? Like you're not really going for the mass appealing ones, the popular ones. You like going for the ones that nobody's looking for. I'm like too.
Yeah, yeah, man. I think that's a good question, Tazo. Like, I think it's not that I have anything against like mass appealing fragrances or anything like that, but I think it's just kind of where I am on my journey now. It's just kind of, what, I'm looking for those fragrances that are gonna take me on a journey personally. They can take me
Right.
somewhere, and it's like, whether it's, a lot of people are pushing those fragrances or not, like that doesn't really matter to me. It's just kind of like, I guess the ones that I'm kind of drawn to at this moment, maybe a lot of people aren't talking about them, but it's not like an intentional decision. It's just kind of like,
Okay. It just happens.
something kind of like, it's just kind of just the way it kind of worked out.
That's actually my journey right now. Like I'm so interested in seeking out new.
Yeah.
I'm finding out about so many different brands. Like Born to Stand Out is one of them. Day Three is one of them. Like I'm not seeking out the newest, and I still like PDM. I
Yeah.
still like these popular brands, but I kind of got them on pause right now until while I go and seek out these other brands because they just have different things.
Yeah, man. Like, what do you like? I've never sampled anything from Born to. Sorry, man. If you're hearing this little high pitched like whine, that's my dog right next to me. So I apologize for that. He'll be out of here in just a moment.
You're right.
Um, I've never tried anything from Born to Stand Out, but I've heard a lot of things about them. What do you think of them as a house, man?
I think all of their fragrances are very good with performance. You won't have
Okay.
a problem with performance with this house. I do
Mhm.
feel like on discounters, I don't know if you use a lot of discounters, you can get them at a good price. They do retail kind of high. I
Yeah.
think I think low twos, high 80s, high 180s.
Okay.
But if you get them on discount, they're different. They don't have the best quality, I will say that, but they're very very good with performance. So you kind of like take a little bit, but give a little bit. But they're
Yeah.
unique though, man. It's a unique brand. They up and coming. I want to see them win. I want to see them keep coming. They got a good cherry. A lot of people talk about this one and the fig
Yeah.
corn and the drunken lovers, but they forget to mention they have a very very good cherry.
Wow. Have you tried that one from them called Filthy Musk?
I don't think I have.
I've been curious about that one. I've never smelled it, but I've been real curious about that
They,
one.
I got all their. If I did, I probably used it up already. But it's a good house, man. But all right, Curtis, man, we're gonna jump into these fragrances notes. These
Yeah.
fragrances that we feel like that we both have in common. Amber is one of them. Rose is another one. Vetiver is one. Um, And I forget the other ones we picked out, man.
Tobacco, rose, amber, vetiver, and honey.
And honey. Okay, all right. So I like to start with amber, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm an amber guy. I actually got two ambers up here, right?
Okay.
Because I really couldn't talk about one without the other. But I wanted to talk. I just got this one in, man, from the house of Day 3 Fragrances. Are you familiar with Day 3?
Man, I've heard a little bit about them, but we can't get them in Japan. So,
Oh yeah, damn, man. But I had to bring this one to the conversation, Curtis. This one is called
nice.
Ambar Dominicano.
Ooh, I like the name.
Listen, what you get with this one, Kurt, is you get lime, you get some like. Are you a fan of the cola note? Like, there's a few fragrances that do the cola note very good.
Yeah, I can get down with that for sure.
It's done good here. The cola with the amber is kind of giving it like that sparkly spice, like soft spice with that amber is very good. I really, really like this one when it comes to amber fragrance, man.
Man, nice.
And then
Yeah, man, I gotta try that one.
the next one I brought to the table was it's from Vivamore. Are you familiar with Vivamore?
No, man, I'm not.
Man, Vivamore, to me, it's like in the same class as Born to Stand Out as far as quality.
Okay.
They both do the same thing. Like this one has a little bit better quality. I'll be honest. Vivamore got a little bit better quality, but they're you can say beast mode, but they're performing fragrances, and they have very, very good DNAs. This one is a vanilla, white florals, amber, and rose. Kurt, you froze up.
Oh, did I? I'm good.
Yeah, you get white florals, vanilla, amber, rose, and vanilla.
Oh, wow, nice.
Oh,
Sounds like
man.
a pretty good, solid combination of notes for sure.
Yeah, the creamy vanilla and I've never listen. This is I don't know if this is clone anything, if it smells like anything. I've never smelled anything this creamy and rosy and vanilla and ambery. It's just man, this is one of the sexiest fragrances in my collection. Like seriously, I put this up easily like top 5 when it comes to scent profile.
Man, where's that brand from, Tazo?
I want to say they are this. I could be wrong, but I want to say they are the sister house to Navitas.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's one to check out if you like rose amber.
Yeah.
That is a good rose amber. I stand by that one.
What type of performance does that fragrance get?
With Midnight Mischief, you're going to get easily 7, 8 hours. You're going to get at least 7. Easy.
Oh, okay.
For the first 3 hours, you're going to get good projection, and then you're going to be like more of a sillage monster. About 4 hours going in, it kind of wears as like a sillage monster scent profile, but these wear heavy. These are heavy. You don't have to spray many sprays with even more fragrances. They wear heavy.
Okay. Okay. Man, sounds like a pretty dope house. I'm gonna have to look into them, man. Yeah, that's two again, two brands I'm not really familiar with. So yeah. Nice, man.
All right. So Kurt, what you got when it comes to the note of amber, man? Like I want to see what you brought to the table.
Yeah, so yeah, I talk about this brand a lot on the channel. I'm a huge fan of them. So I'm gonna be talking about for my amber fragrance. This is from the house of Jeroboam. This is called Ambra.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this house, Tazo?
No, I've never even seen a bottle from that house.
All right. So Jeroboam. So this is they're the sister company of Javoy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So all of their fragrances are like 30 mil extrait to parfum concentrations. And yeah, they kind of sit in the shadows of Javoy, so they don't really get a lot of shine. But man, their whole lineup is amazing. Like I have like 6 or 7 from them. Man, they are just amazing, great performers, and just very unique smelling scents. And so this one in particular, I mean, it's like an amber, spicy fragrance. It's just very, very ambery, vanillic, and it's quite balsamic for an amber fragrance. So if you're not a big fan of like balsamic smelling kind of scents, then you might want to steer clear from this. But for me, man, it's just, man, it's nice. You definitely, there's a bit of also a bit of geranium in here and a bit of incense, and it's like kind of giving it a very light smokiness.
Okay.
But man, it is a gorgeous wear and a compliment getter for me.
Mm.
Man, it is gorgeous. I'm telling you,
Are
very
those,
underrated.
are those extraits, parfums, or like what are they?
Yeah, they're all extraits.
I figured it was.
They're all extraits.
And you
And
said
I
it's
mean,
30 mLs?
30 mLs. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's really good travel size. And like, you do not need, I mean, spray as much as you want. You know, there's no rules to this, but like, I do like 2 sprays and I'm good. Like these are heavy hitters, all of them. So
My
yeah,
guy,
man.
my guy Jonathan said, I want to know, have he smelled Japanese oud, and what is the difference between that and other ouds that like Thai oud and Cambodian oud?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. Actually, one of my fragrances by Desir, that Japanese brand, has some Japanese oud in there, but uh, I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable yet enough to comment on the differences between ouds. I still need to study a lot about that and learn a bit more before I would feel comfortable like commenting on that. I mean, that's a cool thing, man, about this hobby. It's just like, man, it's, learning about these notes and how they, interact with other notes and how you create accords and like all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just been a lot of fun to study about. And yeah, I need to dive in and learn a bit more about that before I can comment.
So Curtis, where did you know, like, okay, I love the note of amber? Like, what fragrance did it for you?
Man, that's a good
I'm
question.
gonna go get mine.
Yeah, I would say, what fragrance did that for me? I mean, I would say that honestly, I mean, it's probably not that exciting to anybody, but like Grand Soir was one of those fragrances that
Yep.
really turned my nose on. There you go, man. I wore that one yesterday, actually.
Did you? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a gorgeous wear. A very simple fragrance, gorgeous wear. But yeah, how about for you? Was it Grand
It
Soir?
was Grand Soir.
Yeah, man.
When I smelled Grand Soir, I was like, I love this. I love this amber note. I love amber. I've always smelled amber, but I kind of always was like chalked it up as an accord, like
Yeah.
different notes making this amber smell.
Yeah.
But when I smelled it in Grand Soir, I knew that was this is an amber note. This is what amber smells like at a
Yeah.
quality level. And this is why I also like to buy quality fragrances, Curtis. Not just
Yeah,
stuff
man.
on a budget. I'm willing to a lot of my fragrances, I mean I do buy at a good price, but I'm willing to buckle down and save a little bit more and wait a little bit longer to get a fragrance like Grand Soir and really appreciate a true amber note with this vanilla, man, and get that experience.
Man, it really is
Ah,
worth
man,
kind
it's
of,
so man, this is good.
and it's like it's interesting because it's like as you move through on this journey, it's like our nose kind of changes, but it's just kind of like, and I think we all start out somewhere and we end up in a completely different spot, you know, and it's just I don't know the changes that we go through, but it's like, man, Grand Soir was one of those that I loved at the beginning and I still love.
Have you
So
smelled the Latafa version of Grand Sword? It's called Eternal Ooh. A lot of people say that is very, very good.
no, I've never smelled anything from that brand, to be honest.
Okay. That's
No,
it's the
no.
clone house.
Okay, okay.
Six said, Curtis, how do you discover these fragrances considering how unpopular fragrances are in Japan?
Yeah, surprisingly, they do have a lot of fragrance boutiques here in Japan. So, Jeroboam is a brand that they carry here. So, and they have a lot of brands that like, man, you at their boutiques that you don't hear anybody speaking about. So one place that I shop at here in Japan is called the Nose Shop, and they have, you know, different kind of branches through Tokyo and through, you know, Osaka, different places in Japan. But man, I go there and they just have some bangers that you don't hear anyone talking about. So that's where a lot of my discovery comes from there. And then also just kind of looking online and you know, I shop at Lucky Scent often. So, you know, just kind of trying things out, sample sets, stuff like that.
Somebody said you don't do clones. Is that true?
That is true. Not that I have anything against them. You know, I think they definitely have a place. It's just, I think for most people that watch my channel, you know, I'm kind of niche is kind of what I'm into. Not that I don't like designers. I definitely do. I'm a huge fan of Hermes as a house. I think they do amazing things.
Okay.
But it's just kind of, I think kind of where I'm at and kind of where, you know, I'm trying to discover fragrances that are different. And I think for me, you know,
too.
my audience's niche is just kind of where it's at.
Like
What is there,
when
Tyler?
you like Curtis, for me, I know you probably feel the same. When you start smelling fragrances like this, where you're like, yo, there's nothing else out there. This is the type of stuff that I be trying to explain to people
Yeah.
when they try to say, oh, well, Tessa, you like Hermine or you like Game of Space. Yes, I do like clones. I'll be Curtis, if you was to smell one, you'll probably say, man, this is a damn good clone.
Probably so.
But when you venture out and you start going to Born to Stand Outs and the Day Threes and the Nishanes and the Bodicias, it's kind of hard to go back and try to find a clone for LV Imagination. Or,
Yeah.
you know, a clone for Ooh for Greatness. Or, you know, you just want to keep on climbing and clone for a different house, a different smell, a different DNA. Mary Jane, never smelled a fragrance, me personally, with the note of marijuana in it.
Man, I've never smelled one like that either, to be honest.
This has in a weird way, Curtis, they made the smell of marijuana smell wearable.
Whoa.
Most people say,
Whoa.
man, I don't want to smell like weed. I hate smell like weed just when I'm smoking it.
Yeah.
You could not be a
Whoa.
person who smokes weed and want to smell like this because this has a very different, unique smell. They took
Man.
the herb, they took the marijuana note and made it wearable. This is dope. This is dope. It's a hidden gem.
It smells pretty realistic, like marijuana. Like,
Yes, yes.
dang.
It smells like fresh, homegrown or lab grown. I'll probably say lab grown, whatever. Marijuana, fluffy, soft, sticky, and then it has this grapefruit in here. It has vetiver.
Man, and that's crazy too, considering that's crazy though, man, because like that house is from Korea, right? So it's like, man, I would never have thought that they would have made a fragrance like that because, man, marijuana is no joke in Korea. You know, you don't want to. You'd be thrown in prison for that.
Wow.
You know, so it's funny that they made like a reference to that. So,
but it's not just that. They have fragrance names like fig porn. And then they have other ones called Drunken Lovers.
wow.
They have another one that's dedicated to the LGBTQ community. I forget the name of that one. Dirty. I mean, the names are crazy. The ideas they're getting to name it's all marketing to me. It's great marketing.
Yeah.
Look, they new to the fragrance community, but they already got pretty good popularity. You know,
Man,
so they're doing something good when it comes to marketing. I got to give them that.
I'm gonna have to dive into that house, man. Like,
I think it's worth it. Man, it's worth it.
Man, how did you discover them? By sample set? Did you just order a sample set or what?
I kept seeing their fragrances like when you're on Instagram, right? There's a For You page, so I kept seeing like their fragrances in my For You page.
Yeah,
and I kept saying to myself, those that like the bottles, the way they were marketing the fragrances, it was eye catching.
huh?
Like their marketing is good.
Man,
You know, so
all right.
I went on their site. I see they had 2 discovery sets. I bought them. did the live stream, man. I've been wearing them, and I ended up buying me a full bottle. I'm gonna get some more full bottles.
Man, all right.
Yeah.
Dang, I'll have to check them out for sure.
All right, Kurt, man. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, man. The next note, we both
Yep.
feel like we are in common. We have in common that we love is the note of vetiver. So
Oh,
I could have actually I have another vetiver fragrance here right now, but the one I picked for this note is Zenji by Unique Luxury.
all right, all right. I've heard a lot about that fragrance, but I've never smelled it.
And what this is upscale. This is suit. This is what do you call it? Turtleneck. This just has such a bossy, classy, elegant smell to it. You have this very nicely done vetiver. It has red wine. This has grapefruit. This is one of the best blends that vetiver with the note of vetiver, hands down. If you
Man,
smell this fragrance, then you know what I'm talking about. Unique Luxury Zenji has a very, very good blend of vetiver in here. If you don't like vetiver, at least smell this one. You can change your mind.
so is that one pretty vetiver dominant?
It is. You get you get like you get like a mix of vetiver and grapefruit. I mean, you also get these other notes that they have listed, but you really get grapefruit and vetiver. But then you have this red wine, so it's not. You can't say this is a uh, just a summer season or spring season fragrance. They do have some fall and winter notes as well, so you can kind of do this all season. I mean, all year round.
Man,
Yeah.
nice. I'm gonna have
You
to check
familiar
that
with the
one out.
brand? You did get luxury.
I'm familiar, and I don't own any bottles from them, but I have sampled like Kute from
How'd you
them.
feel about that? That one is.
Yeah, I liked it, but like I also have Bada Onda by Nasamata. So it's kind of like in a similar vein. It's a very kind of boozy, whiskey heavy, like ambery style fragrance. And so yeah, I think the in terms of performance, I found that Unique Luxuries was quite beastly in terms of performance, but the
Very.
way Bada Onda kind of wears on my skin, I kind of like the wearing experience a little bit more.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, let's see what you have to bring there, Curtis, man, when it comes to the note of vetiver.
Yeah, man. So, vetiver is one of my favorite notes. And I could have gone with Sultan Vetiver by Nishane. I mean,
How is that one? I've always wondered about that one.
man, that now, that is a slap of vetiver in your face. So if
It's too
you are
much.
not for me, but I love vetiver, man. I love it. But they give you 4 different types of vetiver. And what's beautiful about that fragrance is the journey that takes you on through the many different facets of vetiver. Vetiver can come off in so many different ways: damp, earthy, soapy, clean.
Right.
And so it's just kind of it takes you through every facet of vetiver.
Wow. So
But
that's all you get is just vetiver, nothing else.
you get vetiver. There's a very subtle hint of leather when that starts to dry down, and off my skin, like there's I do get a soapiness, and I think that's coming from like I think there's either a bit of orange blossom or neroli in there. I don't remember, but I think it's coming from that. But it is a heavy slap of vetiver in your face. So if you're
I don't
if
know,
you're,
man.
if you're not into it, then it may
I'm
not be.
curious. I'm very, very curious at this point.
It's one of my, I mean, I go back and forth between that one and this fragrance I'm going to show you now as being my top vetiver. But yeah, the fragrance I'm going to show you now is from the House of Javoy. This is called Incident Diplomatique.
Ooh.
Yeah. This one, man, Tazo. This one, I would say I love this fragrance because this is where you have vetiver and patchouli going head to head, battling it out. And in that deep dry down, that vetiver pulls forward and kind of wins the race here. And man, but I'm telling you, and what's really unique about this fragrance is you get a citrusy note that lasts through the entirety of this fragrance, which is rare. Citrus notes tend to fade over time.
Yeah.
but on my skin, it lasts the entire time. But in the deep dry down of this also, that vetiver gets slightly ashy, but it adds so much depth and character to this fragrance that it is gorgeous. And what I'll say about performance on this one, it is a beast. A
Okay.
beast, dude.
Okay.
So like 2 sprays, and I mean, you're good for the entire day.
Wow, just two?
That's dude, Taz, I've worn this one to work, and like one of my coworker walked in the building. It's like, dude, right when I opened the door, all I got was a blast of vetiver in my face. And he was like, and I was like, wow, man, I just did 2 sprays, and it's just like, it's beastly, man. It really is. And that's are you do you have anything from Javoy?
I do not, Curtis. I actually just bought the Discovery set.
Oh, nice, man.
So
Nice.
this is why I'm smiling so hard, because I want to be very pleased with this Discovery set.
Dude, that the Javoy Discovery set is nice, man.
Money well spent.
Absolutely. I bought that one too.
Okay.
It's really nice. And I think for me, it's like Incident Diplomatique, Psychedelic. Psychedelic is gorgeous, dude.
Okay.
And especially
I've
if you like amber. So, I mean, Psychedelic in the dry down gets quite ambery. So it's nice. It's patchouli dominant, but in the dry down, at least on my skin, it wears quite ambery in the dry down.
Okay.
Man, yeah, it's nice.
Now I've heard that Javoy has very, very good quality as well.
Man,
Heard that's a quality house. Like, Curtis, you're the same way, I'm sure. I love quality blends.
yeah.
I love fragrances that transition from opening to mid, from mid to dry, and just takes me on a journey, and just have like Nishane gives me that. This is why Nishane is my favorite house.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like Nishane gives you quality oil at its best. I get the same thing with what's the Sospero.
Mm-mm.
And Nishane has some of the best oils out there, man.
What's your favorite Nishane, Tazo? I'm a huge fan of Nishane also.
My favorite Nishane gotta be Nefs. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have that one here. Have you smelled anything from Nishane?
Dude, I have about 9 Nishane fragrances. I love Nishane, man.
You got this one, Nefs?
I've smelled Nefs, but I do not own it.
All right, Curtis. You're a guy who has an experienced nose. Talk to me about your experience when you experienced Nefs.
Man, I don't even know where to start, man. My mind went in so many different places. I was very intrigued from the get-go. And I've never tried it on skin. I've only smelled it from a blotter. So I can't give an extreme detailed opinion about this, but man, yeah, that one was stunning. I think it's such a chock full of notes. I mean, the amount of notes listed in that fragrance, and you can tell when you're smelling it.
Exactly.
It's
You
almost
can smell the whiskey. You can smell the rose. You can smell
Yeah.
the oud. You can smell the honey. You can smell the vetiver. I mean, I don't know if it's vetiver, but you can smell everything, man. And it's like at quality. Nishane does this. They get every note, and it's a quality level, man. So when people were talking, oh, Nefs is overrated, I'm like, and then they started mentioning fragrances from Bond. Are you familiar with Bond?
I am, but I'm not a big fan of them. So
would you put a Bond fragrance over Nishane Nefs?
Me personally, no, but
I don't think anybody would.
No.
But so there we go, man. So did we get to we got to your vetiver. All right, so
yeah.
I'm gonna do a discovery set, man, when it comes in. And I'm very curious, man. I wanted to like the house of Maison Crivelli a lot. I was kind of underwhelmed with that house.
Yeah.
I didn't smell the other ones like the Oud Maracage and all the other ones that are very popular, but I smelled the hibiscus one. Wasn't too big of a fan of that one. Did you smell that?
Yeah, I have that one. I have a few other extracts. I have hibiscus mahajad, tuberose austral, oud maracuja, and then oud stallion as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, but those are difficult for me to wear here in Japan because those are so powerful.
Okay.
But I do like a few of them for sure.
All right, man, Curtis. So let's move along, man. I'm gonna go to my rose fragrance. Man, I got quite a few rose fragrances, man, but I feel like this one fit the bill, and I'm gonna go with this one, man. This one is from the house of Bodacious. Oops, I got the wrong one. Let me go. This one is from the house of Bodacious,
Mm.
and you kind of know what this one is if you've been watching me. This is Ardent. Now,
Ooh.
I didn't get the credit I deserve on this one, Kurt. When I did my discovery set, wasn't nobody speaking about Ardent. I did a discovery set, got a full bottle of it. Everybody started talking about it. No one mentioned who put the community on smash. You'll notice that too, Kurt. Let's take a second real quick, man, because you are somebody who I look at as an original content creator. I don't see your titles or your videos or your types of fragrances and say, okay, he watches this one or that one. To me, you're original, and I look at myself to be original as well. But you'll notice in this space, man, other people are watching videos, your top 10s or 5s or recommendation lists, and they'll get the fragrance and they will never mention, like, hey, man, I got this recommendation from Curtis, man. Curtis put me on this amber. This was a nice amber. Shout out to Curtis, man. They'll sit there and act like they just got on this fragrance on their own.
Yeah.
Because a fragrance, in a fragrance community, man, we it's only but so big. So everybody kind of knows about everybody. Everybody kind of watches everybody.
Yeah.
So if you've been talking about a fragrance and ain't nobody else really been talking about it, and then all of a sudden a content creator starts talking about it, I mean, I kind of don't believe in coincidence, but you'll notice that, Curtis, man. So if you start seeing some of the bottles that you've been talking about popping up on other people's recommendation lists, it's not coincidence. But I say, man, just give credit, man. Just give credit.
Yeah. Man, I'm not Tazo, I'm not familiar with that house. But did you say Bodicea?
Bodicea, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not.
Bodicea?
I've heard of them, but I've never been able to smell anything from that house.
Man, this one here. Listen, let me talk to you about this one, Curtis. Let me get this one on scan. I love the atomizers too, by the way.
Man, those look
nice.
nice.
A lot of juice. So this one has this very nice, like powdery rose, and it has not honey, but it has beeswax, right? So the beeswax give off like this super thick and dense sweetness, mixed with powdery rose.
Ooh.
Man, this is good. This is good. And the rose is like, I don't like my roses too tainty.
Yeah.
Sour smelling. I like a powdery rose or I like a sweet rose. So this is why I gravitated towards this fragrance. I'm like, man, you got this thick sweetness. And it's like a light sweetness, right?
Is that rose in there, Tazo, and that powderiness? Is that like a oud satin mood type of?
You can kind of say oud satin mood without the oud.
Yeah.
I can see why one would say that. I can see why one would say that. But you don't get, it's not as powdery as oud satin mood.
Okay.
So if someone was to say I didn't like the oud satin mood rose, I would say give this one a try because this one is not as powdery.
Okay.
Right. And then like I said, the beeswax kind of gives like this offset, like it offsets all this powderiness with some of this thick beeswax. This is good, man. This is a very, very, very good rose, Curtis. Very good. Man.
Those fragrances right there, though, don't they run pretty top dollar?
This one, you can get this one on discounters for about now like low twos, maybe like 215, 208. Okay. I got it for like 163 back before anybody was speaking about it.
Whoa.
And now it's kind of popular, so You can kind of get it like low twos.
Man, you got a good deal on that, Tazo.
Yeah, I got a good deal. A lot of my fragrances, I got a good deal on.
Man, damn, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
That house in general.
Sally got it as well.
Oh, Sally has it as well.
Yeah, it's a nice blend. It's a nice blend.
Man.
I'm curious to see what kind of rose that you brought to the table there, Curtis, man. Because I know, man, you probably got one that nobody heard of.
Man, well, I'm gonna have to. Sally's in the chat, so Sally knows exactly what I'm going to be talking about. You know, so this is my favorite rose fragrance. So I gotta, and I've talked about this so many times, but I love it, man. So I'm going to talk about it. Yeah. So this is from the house of Paris Monte Carlo. This is a Rose de Taif extrait. So this is I'm a huge fan of Taif rose. It's my favorite kind of rose. And so, this fragrance, if you kind of picture yourself, you're laying in a bathtub full of Taif rose petals, and someone comes by and slices open a lemon and then just squeezes the lemon juice all over you, and then sprinkles in a little bit of musk. That's basically what you get here. But this fragrance comes alive in the spring and summer. It is a thick, jammy rose. When you spray this on, you can see those oils. Oils are on your skin. And this is just the sillage that you get with this is intoxicating. It really is. And this house, Tazo, Paris Monte Carlo, this house, in my opinion, in terms of their citruses and the way they do citruses, they're the best house.
For citrus?
For citrus, they are the best, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, let me see your bottle.
Yeah.
You can get it for under $100 now, Curtis.
Rose, the Taif extrait?
Yeah.
The extrait? You can get that for under 100?
Whoa. Is a difference?
Yeah. You got to go with the extrait. They have Rose de Taif.
Okay. My bad. Oh yeah, you can get it for a little bit over 100.
Okay. Ooh, that's a steal of a deal.
Yeah. What did you get it for?
Oh, dude, I paid retail for this.
And what was that?
This was in Japan, so it was about three something.
American dollar?
Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of high.
It's high, but man, oh, so worth it, man.
I want to see the extrait. I see the. Okay, I've never smelled Taif rose. Is there another Taif rose fragrance that I might know of?
Man, that's a good question, Tazo. I'm not sure. There's plenty of fragrances that contain Taif rose, but this is the only fragrance in my collection that I have that has Taif rose in it.
Okay.
But I'm just drawn to it, and it's for me, like.
Okay, I see the notes right. Wow, the notes look crazy,
dude.
You got lemon, bergamot, nutmeg, LME. Okay, patchouli and musk in the base.
Yeah, it is the most gorgeous wear, and dude, Tazo too. It also, I want to kind of plug the House of Paris Monte Carlo a little bit because they are super underrated. And I have a few fragrances from them. And the cool thing about them is if you go to their website, right, they will give you layering combinations of what fragrances work well with each other. And I've tried some of those layering combinations and dude, fire.
Wow.
It's good, man. I mean, yeah, they have some amazing fragrances.
They say Rose got a Taif rose one called what's the rose one called? I want to smell Taif rose. Have you smelled rose jam yet?
Rose jam.
It's a note called rose jam.
No, I never smelled that.
Yeah, I want to know what that. I wonder what that smells like.
Rose jam. No, I never even heard of that.
Yeah, rose jam. I've seen that in I forget what fragrance it was. I was like, I wonder what that smells like. Rose jam.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Huh. No, I've never smelled that one. Have you smelled Lyric Man by Homage?
Lyric man, no.
Man,
That's the rose, right?
that's a rose. That's a beautiful rose. Very soapy kind of fresh green smelling rose, man. That's so nice though.
All right.
So nice.
What's the name of that one again?
Lyric man.
Okay. Let me. Oh, you know what? I'm curious, Curtis, man. Do you have any teas?
Oh yes, I do.
I want to. You got to do a tea list, man. I want to know what kind of teas you got.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, have you ever smelled Russian tea by Mas Milano?
I was just. You read my mind. I was just looking up.
Oh dude,
I was
that
just looking up that.
man, Tazo, that is a gorgeous tea fragrance.
Is
I
it?
mean, but it's such a realistic take on black tea with a bit of mint and like I think raspberry maybe, but like, dude, I mean, you really gotta. It is tea dominant,
Wow.
but it is such a realistic take. It's a gorgeous fragrance.
Wow. I like
Yeah.
their amber. That amber one was really good.
Oh, which amber one did you
The
try?
tango one.
Oh, Tango. Yeah, yeah.
I like tango. I was surprised because when I got that fragrance, I thought it was a cheapy house with good
Oh,
quality. But people were telling me like Tazo, man, that's not a cheapy house. Cause I got
oh.
that tango one. I got that a tester at like $40, like 50.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a tester though.
Wow,
Um,
that's a
and when I
steal.
saw that, I was like, this is the best money. Let me go grab it right here. This is the best amber money can buy at this price.
Seriously, and that I think that one was perfumed by Cecile Zarokian too. Like she's an amazing
I'm
perfumer.
gonna grab the tea. You got the tea fragrance?
I have it. Yeah,
I'm gonna grab the tea. I got the amber one. I'm gonna start getting the. Man, this is good.
yeah. And you know what, Tazo too. I noticed too. They also have like oud versions of those, like
Oh,
Tango oud,
oh, really? Okay.
or like Russian tea oud. But I've never smelled those, so I can't comment on those.
I don't know. That's. Hey, there's another tea. Have you ever? Okay, not tea. Is it tea? Give me 1 second. I got a sample of something, right?
Yeah. Of course.
It's a Fujier fragrance.
Oh,
It's a
fougere. I love fougères.
Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah. Take your time, man.
Oh, I can't find it.
You can't find it?
No, I got that's by having all these damn samples. I do not know what stuff can put sometimes.
Do you know what brand it's by?
I posted it on my Instagram. I don't know the name of the brand,
Hmm.
but it's fine. It's fine. But
But
yeah,
it's an ambery fragrance or a tea.
no, it was a tea. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a tea fragrance, but it's fine. I'll have to just.
Yeah, but that Russian tea fragrance though, man, that's more of like a fall winter tea.
Okay.
Is it?
I want to smell that so bad, man.
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah.
Speaking of amber, right? Have you ever smelled anything from Algebra?
From where?
Algebra Parfums.
Agabra. Yeah. I have.
They have a very, very, very good amber. They have a spicy, smoky amber fragrance called Istanbul. So I can't stop talking about that fragrance.
I've smelled that one before, man. That's a
Oh
nice
yeah,
one. Yeah, that's a nice one.
I love it. Every time I wear it, I just be like, God, it smells so good.
Man, Tazo, it's funny you say that. Man, I've had that in my shopping cart for like it goes in my shopping cart, and then I'm kind of teeter-tottering with like, man, should I pull the trigger on this or not? I'm kind of waiting for a good deal, but like that kind of goes in and out of my shopping cart.
I'm gonna send you a site. I haven't bought from them before, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna be taking a gamble. But they got it at a very, very good price.
really.
But I'll send it to you. You make a judgment call if you want to shop with them. I'm gonna make my judgment call. I'm gonna take a
Yeah,
check. But I really got to get that fragrance in, man. It's to
man.
me, it's the best amber. Algebra. So one thing about Algebra, I love how dense their fragrances wear. Like
They're
The
heavy.
notes, yeah, they're heavy, and I like that about that brand.
Yeah.
How heavy they, like even their oud fragrance right here. Like to me, it was a damn good oud fragrance. We're kind of getting off track. We could have did oud too, man. Because I
Oh man, yeah. We. I was thinking about that too. I was like, man, maybe we should have gone in that direction too.
man, I'm gonna have so many agua perfumes before it's all said and done.
You got a few of those Cuban tobacco ones, right? Or you got that? Sorry, not the Cuban. Do
Yeah,
you have the Cuban
Jamaican
tobacco?
tobacco. That was gonna be my
Okay.
tobacco. We agreed upon tobacco, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go ahead and segue into that, man. So
Okay, sounds good.
I grabbed me. Tezza must have his pants on. Kind of what the hell are you talking about, Sonny? Hey, listen, man. So when it comes to tobacco, my favorite tobacco of all time, I have not smelled a better tobacco. There are some that's just as good, but this is my favorite tobacco from the house of Algebra Parfums. This is Jamaican tobacco, y'all. Jamaican tobacco.
Oh, I've never tried that one.
Spicy, vanillic, wet tobacco leaf.
Mm,
Yeah, spicy, creamy vanilla, and a wet tobacco leaf.
man.
I prefer my tobaccos to be less smoky. I don't know about you, Curtis.
Okay.
I don't care for the smokiness, the incensey tobaccos. Um, from my wearing experience, no. I'd rather have like that tobacco leaf smell
Mm-mm.
in a fragrance than it be more smoky and dry. I could care for it. I could care less for a dry tobacco as well.
Yeah. You like more of like a damp, kind of like
Yeah,
pipey
right,
tobacco.
right.
Wow, nice, man. Yeah, I've never. I'm gonna have to.
You haven't smelled the
I've
Jamaican
never.
tobacco, right?
I've never smelled any of those tobacco fragrances from Algabra.
You're gonna love them, bro.
Man, I'm gonna
You're
have
gonna love
to.
them.
I'm gonna
Curtis,
have to get a sample set.
yeah. They don't have Jamaican tobacco in the sample set. They got
Oh,
Cuban.
really?
Yeah,
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
I like that. I like that. He said I got City of Jasmine because my daughter's name is Jasmine. It's fire. I got to get a few more from the house. City of Jasmine is like a take on Creative Vintage DNA. They
Oh,
add,
okay.
they add a little bit more green notes to kind of like give it a little bit more of a earthiness feel. Yeah. So.
Nice. Nice.
All right, Curtis, man. What's your tobacco, man? I know you brought a good one.
Yeah, man. So this is if you were just talking about smells, this is one of the best smells in my entire collection. So in terms of its sillage, now it's moderate in its performance, moderate in its sillage, but in terms of its smell, one of the best smells ever. Um, this is coming from the house of Maison Violet. This is Un Air d'Apogée.
Mm.
Are you familiar with this, Tazo?
No, I am not.
Man, this is this is such a gorgeous tobacco fragrance. This is a honeyed tobacco fragrance. So basically you get a blast of honey, and it also has mimosa in here. And
Mm.
so a lot of times, like the way mimosa kind of works in fragrance is it can kind of give off a powdery type vibe, but it can also mimic honey a bit. So
Okay.
combined with the actual honey in here, it's giving this fragrance a sweetness. And then you also have like hay in here. So that hay starts to push forward, which is providing an earthiness. It's adding to that earthiness that the tobacco is kind of giving off. But this is just like kind of a sweet, honeyed, earthy tobacco vibe. But man, it is such a gorgeous wear. I'm telling you, man. And this is in Tazo, we were talking about ambery fragrances. There's another fragrance from this house called Sketch, and it wears so ambery on my skin. But man, it's one to check out. I actually wore that one earlier this week, but gorgeous, gorgeous wear. In this house, Maison Violet, man, like you don't hear anybody talking about it, and it's just like I don't understand why. They have some bangers from their house. Yeah, and
What
Un
kind?
Air d'Apogée.
What kind of tobacco is in that one? Like, how would you describe the tobacco note?
I think it's more along the lines of it kind of steers kind of dry. However, the honey sweetens it up and makes it almost damp. You know what I mean? So it's a very rich, rich smelling tobacco to my nose.
Does the honey note comes off too gourmandish, or is it just
no, it doesn't come off gourmand, but it just provides that sweetness, but not necessarily in the gourmand sense. It's a subtle sweetness.
Okay.
But man, one of the best smells in my entire collection.
Okay. That sounds good, man. But what is a bottle like that retail for?
Yeah, dude. And so let me talk about this real quick. So Maison Violet, they've actually just done a relaunch. So they've changed their bottle design. So you can't get these fragrances in these bottles anymore, which I'm a little bit bummed about, because these bottles are elegant and kind of very classy looking. I really like these, but they've revamped. But you can get a fragrance like this. This is a 75 ml, but I think they've switched to like 50 mLs. So I think you can get them like on Lucky Scent. Like, I think it's like $110. Fairly good price.
Wow.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But yeah, they're good, man. I'm telling you, really, really good.
Yeah, man, Curtis, man, we definitely gotta keep in touch, man, because I like dealing with people in FredCom who put me on fragrances, man.
Oh, same here, man. Same here.
I know with you watching at least one of your videos, if you watch just one of Curtis' videos, you didn't heard about a fragrance you ain't heard about before. He didn't talk about a fragrance that somebody's asking, what is the fragrance called again?
Yeah, this is called Un Air d'Apogée. It's by Maison Violet.
Let me hold on. While I got that put on the screen, let me see if I can Google that real quick.
Yeah.
I wanna get into that fragrance right there.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous one.
Do you blind buy Curtis, or you get discovery sets like?
No, they have this at the nose shop in Japan. So I had sampled it a few times at that store, and then I sat on it for a while, and then I was like, man, I've got to get that. So yeah, I sampled it.
Hey, look, Fragrantica got the main accords for that fragrance as powdery, tobacco, musky, green, woody, herbal, sweet, leather, amber, yellow floral. Man, that sounds good,
dude. It is, and there is a slight powderiness, and I would say, in a whole, for the house of Maison Violet, there is a common theme between amongst their fragrances. They all have a slight powderiness to them. So, but in, like, for me, I'm not a huge fan of powdery fragrances, but it works in this line of fragrances. It really works for me. So,
okay. Yeah, I see the smaller bottles. Yeah, those bottles definitely look a lot more classy.
Yeah.
These newer ones have like that Mancera look to them.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that they, wow. All right, man. Let's get to the chat a little bit, Curtis. Get some questions answered, man. See who got something to say. Everybody's talking about how good this one sounds like it is, man. Casey said it's kind of fresh for all those facets. Excuse me. Very unique, but a little subdued. Okay. They say, yeah, they are $100 on Lucky Scent. Some bottles as the Mancera 60 ml bottles now. All right. Jonathan said, bro, still pissed from the other night. Bond scents were better than Nishane. Hey, Curtis, man, we had some guys the other night that were saying some crazy stuff, man, about, listen, I use this example, right? Like Blue Sapphire.
Yep.
I think Blue Sapphire smells amazing. Is it my style of fragrance? It's not 100% my style of fragrance. But I would be lying to somebody to say it smells terrible or it stinks.
Sure.
Like, you might not like the way Neff smells on you or in the air or but you cannot sit here and say that it stinks. It's terrible. This is a fragrance of straight up royalty, man. Don't get me started on Mana, the best leather fragrance out there, man. Sometimes Curtis people say outlandish stuff. I mean, to bring up Bond number 9 when speaking about Nishane Nefs was crazy to me. I mean,
Yeah.
this is one of the best release when it comes to top tier fragrances. One of them, like you got to bring it up in discussion. This or Mana. When you're speaking about the Rosias and the Bodicias that dropped, and the Nishane got one too, man. But they say Bond, come on, man. I won't let that one slide. That was crazy.
Yeah, to each his own, I guess.
Yeah. So, hey, Curtis, man, who are you watching when you watching fragrance reviews, man? Like, what's some of the go-to guys you go to, or girl?
Yeah. I watch God, what's his name? Scented Moments. Is it like he does like individual? Is it Scented Moments? Let me look. I don't know. I may not be saying his name 100% correct. Let me see real quick. I could be lying. Another one I watch is I watch Justin Copeland.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else do I watch? I watch like people like the perfume guy sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I would say that the what's the other guy? I watch the one I watch the most though is Chris over at what's his name?
The Dry Down.
The Dry Down.
Yeah,
man. The way he is able to convey and express himself in detail about these fragrances is he's just so eloquent.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of his.
He sells you on fragrances.
Man,
I'm not saying he's doing it purposely.
No.
I think he genuinely feels this way about the fragrances, but it's like he's selling me. He's one I gotta watch when I want to buy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I don't want to buy, I can't really watch him, man, because he'll sell me on something. I'll be ready to blind buy it or get a sample of it. Because he got a good, and you the same ways, man. You are the same way. I'm like, you two, I put y'all two in the same category. Like, y'all two should be I mean, y'all gonna get y'all just due, but I feel like you two should be easy at like 20,000-25,000. If
no.
Easy, man. With the lineup of fragrances that you and Dry Down bring, man, come on, man. Y'all, but y'all get y'all time. Everybody time comes when it's ready. So,
but man, yeah, he's a man. His channel is amazing.
Yeah, it is. Shout out to Dry Down.
Yeah.
But same thing with you, Curtis, man. Keep going, man. I like the fact, like, when I watch people like you and the Dry Down, what makes me proud is that y'all keep going. Because so many people fall off. Like, it's other, I'm not gonna mention names, but there's reviewers that I liked and watched coming up. They were hot when I would watch them, but they're not even around anymore.
Yeah.
My guy CJ City, he not around no more. EQ, we should do pre-upload videos on reviews. You don't do them no more. So I like to see that you, the Dry Down, still being consistent with quality fragrances, man. Not that bull jive. Because you could easily, Curtis, chase the top 5 clone videos.
Yeah.
Those do a lot better than the stuff we talk about.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But we stay true to what we're here for. Quality fragrances, great experiences. Not saying they don't get the same thing with their clones, but it's a breath of fresh air to see somebody bring up type of fragrances that I want to look into. It's so many the Latifahs and Paris Corner videos, and no knock to them, but it's like I still like to see the niche guys, be just as consistent.
Yeah, I think it's all kind of, what you're passionate about, what you're into. If you're passionate about clones and that's what you're into, then go for it, man. Like do your thing. I think it all has its place. And I think for me, it's like I have my own lane and I try to stay in that lane.
Like when you just talked about that Taif Rose fragrance.
Yeah.
The way you explain that fragrance, bro, it's a different level of explanation when you can talk about fragrances like that. You see me like I even envision someone being in a tub or a jacuzzi of Taif roses and just like all of that stuff. You're painting a picture, and you can do that with quality fragrances.
Yeah.
You can talk about how good the rose is, put you in the mindset of being in a jacuzzi, a hot tub, and the steam coming off the hot tub jets, working its way with these roses and the aroma of the rose. And it's these fragrances do that to us, where we can go into deep description.
Man, it's about the journey, man. Those fragrances that take you places.
Right.
That's what it is.
And people are all right, like fragrances like Neff's and Blue Sapphire, they aren't everyday fragrances.
Yeah.
I'll give y'all that. You want you an everyday daily driver, then designers are your go-to. Blue de Chanel's are your go-to. Dior Sauvages, you need something for every day. But if you want to step outside of that box of simplistic fragrances and get into a fragrance like Popular Fico, man,
I love that one, Tazo, man.
so spicy and warm.
Cardamom is so just sexy, man. It's a sexy one.
This is another one I thought my nose wasn't gonna be ready for, but when I smelled it, my nose was actually ready for it. You ever felt that, Curtis, where you looking at the notes and you're like, I may not be ready for that.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you smell it and you're like, I love this.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, that's what Popular Fico did for me. Credo as well. I thought Credo was going to be too much of that oud and that wood.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to like it, but I like that.
Yeah, I love Credo too, man. I need to wear that again. I haven't worn that recently, but I need to wear that again.
Okay, I see what they're saying in the chat. But yeah, Curtis, man, you got anything last you want to say, man? As far as content goes, your journey, your channel, fragrances, you want to leave anything out leave it all out before we wrap it up, man?
Yeah, I'll just show you one other fragrance that, since we talked about those notes of vetiver, tobacco, and I know you like coffee, Tazo.
Yeah.
So I want to show you this one fragrance. This has rose, black coffee, tobacco, and vetiver. And this fragrance right here, this is called Little Song by Mayo Fushiuni. Do you know this house, Tazo?
I've never heard of that house.
Dude, this stuff is the real deal. If you want to be taken on a journey, this is it. This is it. And if you love all those notes, you're most likely going to love this fragrance. Talking about an experience. This is it right here, man. This is it. Especially, man, a deep black coffee, kind of a subtle, not overbearing, green, slightly spicy rose. You have that earthy vetiver in here. And, that kind of, the tobacco is a bit dry in here, but the way it's combined with the other notes just makes for an absolutely intoxicating combination, man. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. So yeah, I would say, man, check out this fragrance. But yeah.
Is that an extrait?
No, this is a parfum.
So, somebody's asking, what is it called again?
Yeah, this is called Little Song by Mayo Fushiuni.
Okay. Somebody write it down.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous one, man.
And you say it has coffee,
bourbon vetiver, rose, and tobacco.
My guy Casey said, I'm up. Be good, Kurt. I'll convo more on Mio Fush on one of your videos. Yeah. This guy Casey, man. Hey, Casey, man, shout out to you. Casey is very, very well versed when it comes to notes and fragrances, man.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. Casey, I was really surprised.
Hey, Casey, let me see if you come up here real quick, Casey. If you got time, real quick. I was surprised, Casey, you didn't like Nakartika's Dolce Diablo. He said he did not like that. That was a very, very good chocolate fragrance in me.
I've never tried that one.
Yeah, that was the Dolce Diablo is a very, very good chocolate. They have an amber that's very, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm indifferent. I'm
Hmm.
indifferent, but that house in Antarctica, they're expensive, man. But you do get what you pay for.
Huh.
Even the vanilla fragrance, I forget the name of the vanilla. I think it's called like something. I forget. But
What what do those fragrances run for?
retail, I think they want about 280 retail.
Hmm.
Discounters, you can get testers maybe at 250, 240, 225.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. Okay.
GH3, what's up, man? How you doing? He said I never gagged prior to smelling that fragrance, so something it wouldn't work for me. Yeah, I like Casey though, man. Casey's a good guy. He's actually the one that sent me that
Yeah.
sample of the Vanille Havana. Listen, if you like tobacco, right? Have you smelled Vanille Havana, Curtis?
Vinny Havan by Les and Demodab.
Yeah,
No, I never have, but I've heard lovely things about that one.
it's right under my favorite tobacco, which is the Jamaican tobacco one.
Yeah.
Vanille Havana is a very, very nice, boozy, vanillic tobacco. I think it's even some cacao in there as well, which I don't get much of the cacao.
Man.
Man, Vanille Havana is a nice, nice tobacco.
Yeah, that's been on my radar for some time now.
I didn't care for the oud, like the one they Coor,
Ah,
the
yeah. Oh, you smelled
Hey,
that one
I,
already?
yeah, I didn't care for the oud they added to that. That to me, I felt
Okay.
like they should have left that one as it was. But some people like to add oud and all that to it. But I
Okay.
I feel like they should have kept it at the original. Sonny
Man.
said people been talking bad about Bad Boy for years. I need to smell it. What is Bad Boy?
Talking about Vinny Havan, I think is what he
Oh, talking
means.
Bad Boy for years.
Yeah.
DC said meow
Man,
Fuskayani little
Pushkini. Yeah.
something. All right,
Yeah.
man. Well, all right,
Man,
Curtis, man. It's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure, man. I finally got on stream with you. I've been wanting to get on stream with you for a while, man.
man, no, I appreciate it, Tazo, man. You know, it was a fun time, and yeah, you introduced me to some fragrances I had never heard of too. So I'm definitely going to be looking into those. So yeah, man, I appreciate the friendship.
Right. Let me ask you this before you go. Are you
Yep.
into candles too?
Candles. I to be honest, I don't think I'm would be turned off by them. Yeah, I would say I definitely would be. I just don't have any in my house.
Man, I love candles. A lot of people don't know this about me. And if you know me personally, then you know me like somebody who's been in my house.
Yeah.
I love candles, man. And this brand right here, I ain't promoting them, but just got to be honest.
Yeah.
It's called Goose Greek. They
Oh
make some of the best candles, man.
man,
This
what
one,
kind of vibe is that?
this one is. I'm a gourmand guy when it comes to candles. I love candles that have gourmand aromas. This
Okay.
one is called Blueberry Cheesecake.
Oh
And when I tell you this leaves your apartment, your home, your room smelling like blueberry cheesecake, literally, I love it, man. I love gourmand candles.
it's that realistic.
It is very realistic.
Oh man.
And it lasts a long time. Like this candle does not burn within 2 days. Like, of course, I blow them out or whatever, but this candle lasts quite a bit of time, man. I've been
Man.
pleased. This is my second candle from them. They're not cheap though. They cost about $20.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Okay.
but they are worth it, man. They have your whole apartment, room, whatever space smell like whatever candle you lit. So I'm a
Man.
big candle guy. I will go and spend real good money on candles.
Man, I'll have to check into that. Like at the just real quick, at the nose shop in Tokyo, they sell a few different candles. So like at that fragrance store, so I'll have to maybe dive into them a little bit and kind of see what they got.
Yeah, for me, candles are like they're very. First of all, I love stuff that smells good. I've always been a person who just loved things that smell good, and candles bring this very peaceful, just relaxing, and then the aroma of the candle. I love candles, man. I love. I can sit in a room with no lights, with just a candle and be at peace, man. So
A bit tranquil, huh?
wanted to see if you share that same love for her.
Yeah, I'll have to dive in, man, and get some for sure.
Yeah, I might even like, hey man, I don't know. I'm gonna start reaching out to some of these candle brands and see if they wanted to advertise my video with a candle in the back.
No, nobody's ever hit you up, like candle companies that never hit you up.
No, they probably. I gotta get more candles in the videos. And
Yeah,
then
they yeah
live stream, I gotta be sporting some for them to be like, hey, he likes candles. Let's send him some.
yeah yeah
Big
yeah
guy. But all
man.
right, Curtis, man, I'm ready to wrap it up, man. It's been a
Yeah,
long
for
night.
sure.
I appreciate everything, bro.
No, I do too, Tazo. I really appreciate you having me on, and thank you to everybody in the chat for dropping by. Yeah, thank you so much, man. And we'll link up again soon.
Hey, this ain't the first time y'all will see Curtis on my channel. And Curtis, whatever you want me on your channel, just let me know.
Man, Tazo, I've never done a live ever on my channel.
Whenever you ready, whenever you
Yeah,
ready to do your live streams, and
yeah. Man. See, but like people like just real quick, man. Like people like you and like Charm, you guys are good at like getting through lives. Like I don't know, man, if I'd be good at that. But I'll have to kind of just get my feet wet, I guess, and give it a shot.
I'm gonna tell you how the best way I can put it. Right, is I treat a live stream like if I was in a room.
Okay.
But the same way I'm talking to you is how I would talk to you in person.
Yeah.
And everybody else in the stream, like we were all at a round table. That's the way I look at it.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, just that's the same way. I'm the same way everywhere. I don't know how to be any different.
Yeah,
I'm talking to you now is the way I talk to you off stream. And like I say, man, I'm a fan of your channel, man. I love to see what you're doing. You young, you up and coming channel, up and coming channel, and keep going, man. Don't you give up, man. You keep pushing, you keep pushing, you keep pushing, and it's going to pay off. I promise you, man. I promise you. You got something going, Curtis. Humble guy, peaceful setup, fragrances that people haven't heard of that are good. Man, keep doing what you do, man. You're here to stay.
I appreciate the kind words, Tazo. I really do. Thank you.
Seriously, man. All right, Curtis, you want to get it? Chat one last.
Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for joining today's chat. Yeah, I mean, I look forward to chatting with you guys, again in the future. So thank you so much, and thank you again, Tazo, for letting me come on your channel and talk a little bit about fragrances. I really appreciate it.
Casey said, "I'll hop alive with you, Kurt."
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'd love to have you on, Casey.
Yeah. You and Casey doing a live would be very, very dope.
Yeah, Casey knows what he's talking about, man.
Man.
He's really he spits knowledge. He knows what he's talking about.
And he would take the time to respond to you.
Yeah.
Deep detail. Like he doesn't just respond with just generic answers. He really take the time to try to give you some education on some of these fragrances and perfumers, and like this dude's cool guy, man. I like Casey.
Yeah, for sure. I do too. Yeah, I've talked to him so many times just online. Yeah, he's been in the comments. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah, Casey, I'd love to have you on when I can kind of get the courage up to do one of these lives. So yeah, Casey, you're the man.
Well, all right, man. We're gonna do it like that, man, and just take the time and let everybody know, man. We appreciate everybody, and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday night, man. I'm going to put mine to a close.
Yeah,
Curtis, man. I know it's early in the morning over there, but it's late as hell over here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the opposite. You getting up for the day?
Yep.
I'm going to sleep for the day, man. So thank you so much, Curtis, man. And we'll be in contact, man.
For sure. Good night. Good night, everybody. Have a good night.
Man. Good night, everybody, man. Y'all have a good night, man, and y'all be safe. And I'll see y'all next time. All right. Peace.
Thanks so much.